Hello, and welcome back to Classy Deco. Today, we're diving into a style that's all about cozy comfort, cherished memories, and timeless charm, Grandmacore. We're not talking about a stuffy, dusty look, but a warm, inviting aesthetic filled with character. We're going to transform your space into a nostalgic haven without breaking the bank. Think vintage finds, clever DIYs, and upcycled treasures. Before we get our hands dirty with paint and glue, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment about your favorite nostalgic decor piece, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming projects. Let's get started on our budget-friendly fall decor journey. A gallery wall is the heart of any Grandmacore room, and you can create one for next to nothing. We'll start with frames we've found at thrift stores and garage sales. Don't worry about mismatched colors or finishes, that's part of the charm. We'll give some a fresh coat of chalk paint in muted, earthy tones like sage green or creamy white. Others we'll leave as is to showcase their beautiful patina. We'll fill them with things that mean something to us, old family photos, pressed flowers, small botanical prints from old books, and even needlepoint samplers. This isn't about perfection, it's about a collection of cherished moments. Fall is the perfect time to embrace Grandmacore's cozy vibes. And what's more welcoming than a beautiful wreath on your front door? Instead of buying one, we're going to make a stunning, everlasting one. Our base is a simple grapevine wreath from the craft store. We'll forage for natural elements, fallen leaves in vibrant reds and oranges, pine cones, and tiny acorns. We'll also add some budget-friendly faux berries and dried floral stems. A simple, hand-tied ribbon from a thrifted scarf in a classic plaid pattern will be the finishing touch. This project is all about bringing the beauty of nature indoors. One of the most charming aspects of Grandmacore is using everyday items in unexpected ways. Today, we're giving old, forgotten tea kettles a new life as planters. You can find these at flea markets or even your grandmother's attic. We'll choose a few with lovely faded floral patterns or a beautiful tarnished brass finish. We'll simply drill a few small holes in the bottom for drainage. Then, we'll plant tiny ferns or cascading ivy. The juxtaposition of the weathered metal and the fresh greenery creates a stunning centerpiece for a kitchen windowsill or a porch side table. Grandmacore is all about layering, and there's no better way to show that than through pattern mixing. Don't be afraid to combine florals with stripes or plaids with toile. The key is to keep the color palette cohesive. If you're working with dusty pinks and greens, make sure all your patterns stay in that family. We'll use a large floral throw blanket as our base on a sofa. Then, we'll add a few accent pillows, one with a classic ticking stripe and another with a small-scale plaid. Finish it off with a crocheted afghan draped over the arm. The result is a layered, cozy, and effortlessly stylish look. Grandmacore isn't about hiding things away, it's about proudly displaying the things you love. Think about collections your grandmother might have had, teacups, vintage spoons, or even tiny glass figurines. We'll create a charming display using a small, distressed shelf or a repurposed wooden crate. We'll arrange mismatched teacups and saucers from various thrift shops on the shelves. A few tiny, delicate porcelain birds or brass trinkets can be tucked in between. This arrangement tells a story and transforms what might be clutter into a beautiful, personal curio. Lighting is crucial for creating that cozy grandmacore feel. Instead of big, expensive chandeliers, we're going to use a combination of lamps and fairy lights. We'll search for vintage brass lamps with beautiful, ornate bases at thrift stores. You can easily replace the shades with something like a pleated floral shade or a simple linen one you find on sale. We'll also string tiny, warm-toned fairy lights along a bookshelf or a window frame. The combination of these light sources will create a soft, layered glow that is incredibly inviting and perfect for a fall evening. Nothing says Grandmacore quite like a hand-knitted or crocheted throw. If you don't know how to knit or have a family heirloom, don't worry. You can often find beautifully made throws at flea markets and antique stores for a reasonable price. Look for ones with intricate patterns or a mix of colors. We'll simply drape it over the back of a sofa or the arm of a rocking chair. The texture and color instantly add a layer of warmth and a sense of history to your space. It's a simple, yet powerful, detail that makes a room feel loved. Old books are more than just reading material, they're beautiful decorative objects. You can find them at any thrift store for $1 or less. Look for books with beautiful faded covers, interesting spines, or lovely worn pages. We'll use a few to create a small, charming stack on a side table. We can also open a few to a favorite page and display them on a bookshelf. Another fun idea is to tie a few with some twine or a simple ribbon and add a small sprig of dried lavender or baby's breath. It's a simple, elegant touch that adds a sense of history and intellectual charm to any room. Nature is a huge part of the Grandmacore aesthetic. Today, we're going to create our own stunning and sentimental wall art using pressed flowers. This is a perfect project for fall, using the last of the season's beautiful blooms. You'll just need a few simple things, some heavy books to press the flowers, cardstock, and some old frames we've already thrifted. We'll arrange the delicate, dried flowers on the cardstock and carefully place them in the frames. The result is a beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece of art that captures the delicate beauty of nature. A Grandmacore table setting is all about mixing and matching. Forget a formal, perfectly matched set of china. Instead, we'll layer a few different elements. We'll start with a simple tablecloth, maybe a faded floral or a classic gingham pattern. Then, we'll use plates we've gathered from various places, one with a beautiful rose pattern, another with a delicate blue border. We'll use mismatched vintage silverware and cloth napkins tied with a piece of twine. In the center, a simple arrangement of wildflowers in a tiny, old jar. This creates a table that feels personal, loved, and full of stories. Every Grandmacore home needs a place to curl up with a good book. We're going to create a cozy reading nook in a small corner. We'll use an old armchair we've upcycled by reupholstering it with a budget-friendly floral fabric. We'll add a few pillows and a crocheted blanket. A small side table, maybe an old plant stand, will hold a stack of our favorite books and a cup of tea. We'll finish the space with a small brass lamp to provide a warm, inviting glow. This nook will be your personal sanctuary, a place to relax and enjoy the simple pleasures. Don't throw away that old, scuffed-up dresser. We can give it a new lease on life as a beautiful vanity. A simple coat of chalk paint in a soft color like dusty pink or sage green can completely transform it. We'll keep the original hardware for that authentic vintage feel, even if it's a little tarnished. On top, we'll add a beautiful, small round mirror with a gold frame and a few decorative items. A tiny vintage perfume bottle, a lace doily to hold jewelry, and a small flower vase will make this a functional and beautiful focal point in your bedroom. Vintage picture frames are essential for the Grandmacore look, but buying them can get pricey. The good news is, you can create the look yourself. We'll start with plain wooden frames from the dollar store. With a little bit of craft paint and some clever distressing techniques, you can make them look like they've been around for generations. we'll use creamy white or soft gold paint. Once dry, we'll use sandpaper to gently distress the edges and corners. This gives them that beautiful, time-worn patina. Fill them with your favorite photos or some of the pressed flowers we made earlier for a truly personalized touch. And there you have it, a beautifully transformed space filled with the cozy charm of Grandmacore, all done on a budget. We've taken old, forgotten items and given them a new purpose, turning your home into a place that tells a story. From our upcycled tea kettle planters to our DIY distressed frames, every piece has a purpose and a personality. This style is about finding beauty in the imperfect and creating a space that feels like a warm hug. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you love these ideas, please like this video and share it with a friend who loves this style. And don't forget to comment on which project you're going to try first. Subscribe to Classy Deco and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.